T-shirts for a lot of people, including myself, just happen to be one form of communication that those people chose. You know, some people make beats, right? Some people paint, some people sculpt, some people do flash, but like we chose to do T-shirts, you know. And you talk about the domino effect. I think there definitely was a bit of a domino effect, but it kind of came all organically, step by step, and it just started with the humble T-shirt. I think it's a great entryway because it's relatively inexpensive to make, relatively inexpensive to buy, so you could actually get like a customer base, you know. So it's a good way to sort of get your expression and get your creativity out into the world. My name is Jeff Staple. I'm the founder and creative director of a company called Staple Design. It's based in New York. Staple is a menswear collection. We do an apparel clothing line. We also have a design and ad agent, like a creative agency, more so, a boutique creative agency. And we also operate a retail store called Read Space. Read Space does a couple of different things. One, it's a lifestyle boutique. Two, it's an art gallery, and we do exhibitions of artists from around the world. And we also have a quarterly publication called Read Pages Magazine. So those are the different things that I do in my day-to-day. The reason why I'm out here is because of Read Space. We decided to bring a pop-up sort of guerrilla temporary retail environment to Honolulu, curated by me and my team from New York. And I'm here to help open it, execute it, and just kind of like meet and greet all the people that supported us through it. It was sort of a last minute thing, actually. You know, we had already planned to do the Hawaii pop-up store for a long time. And I thought at the last sort of minute, like literally 2 weeks before I came out here, I was like, you know what, one big component of the New York is the art gallery that we do. And I said, I want to bring that element out here. And I also want to bring, you know, the whole concept is bringing a piece of New York out here. So I wanted to do something like that where the art would reflect New York City. So I asked, you know, a bunch of my photographer friends. I'm really into photography, but I don't consider myself a photographer. I'm just into it, and I take some pictures on the side. So I asked a bunch of my photography friends, because I have a lot of friends who do photos, and I said, you know, I'm doing a quick show, send me New York City in one shot. So the book component of New York City, of our store in New York, is one of the major centerpieces of the store. And we also have a lot of other things: clothing, footwear, accessories, bags, jewelry, art. You know, we have a lot of stuff. Logistically speaking, there was only so much I could bring out here. And we thought that the books made the most sense. You know, there's some clothing stores out here that sell similar stuff. There's some footwear stores out here, you know. So we wanted to bring the culture, and what better way to do that than with the printed book, you know. And that way we have books about street culture, craft, cycling, you know, architecture, interior design, graphic design, fashion. So we have all these different cultural touch points that we can bring in books that would be, quite honestly, a real pain in the ass to bring physically, you know. So the books, I think, is a good introduction to that. I think Honolulu is a really interesting part of America because it's almost like its own country, you know. I still find it strange that like I can use US dollars when I come to Honolulu. It's like I forget that I'm in like the, you know, the 50 state within the 50 states. But I think geographically it's really interesting because of the isolation that you guys have here. It makes it so much more important that you're connecting with different parts of the world. Obviously the mainland, but also I think because of your geographic location, Asia is like right over there, almost just as close as like Los Angeles is. And for us, Asia has always been very embracing of what Staple and Read Space does. So we already have a strong foothold out in Japan and in China and Hong Kong. So doing it over here in Honolulu makes so much sense because then you've got that cross-pollination of New York, LA, Japan, Hong Kong, China, all like sort of here, you know. So on the one hand, you could say Honolulu's isolated in the middle of nowhere. On the other hand, you could say it's right in the middle and a melting point of Asia and America, you know. So that's why I found it kind of interesting that like it makes sense to do something out here. If you live in LA or if you live in San Fran, it's quite easy for you to go to New York and check out Read Space and check out what Staple does in New York. But here it's less likely that someone will make that 11, 12-hour trek out there, you know. So I thought it was good to, if you're going to do it in America, do it out here in Honolulu.